Welcome to an ROA Mod Squad video. My name is Michael, and today we're going to be going over some pros and cons of weight distribution hitches. So you may ask yourself, like, what is a weight distribution hitch? You know, if you're new to the industry and you're getting a trailer, and you may have heard people talk about weight distribution hitches. And it's in its name, what it does. And so let's go through those pros. And that first one is weight distribution. So what it does is it kind of acts like a wheelbarrow. So when you hook up your trailer to your truck, it pushes down the rear end, and then it pushes the front of your trailer up a little bit. And if it does too much of that, your front tires aren't gripping as much. So your turning capability and your braking capability does go down. And that's where a weight distribution hitch helps put the tires more on the ground, because it takes some of that weight on the rear axle and transfers it to the front axle. And that is what the main reason for weight distribution is, to distribute that weight around, which makes for a better towing experience. But now every truck and every trailer is different, and the combinations also are different. So for some, it's probably recommended for their combination, and for others, it's not necessary for the weight distribution aspect of it. The other great pro for a weight distribution hitch is sway control. Almost all the weight distribution hitches have some type of sway control built into them to help with sway. What sway is if you're driving down the road, say there's like a deer, which happens, we're going camping, there's deers in the mountain all the time. Maybe there's a deer in the road and it comes jumping out, you're gonna swerve, and that swerving motion from your truck transfers back to the trailer. And if it's a lot, it could cause it to sway a little bit, and then it kind of makes this ripple effect back and forth. And you may, some people have lost control completely. Most of the time, you're able to just get back into position and it's all okay. But what the sway control does for that is it helps dampen all of that and get you back into place faster and correct that sway that's happening. So that's a really good pro about a weight distribution hitch, is the sway control that can help in that. And now some of the cons that you could have is it takes extra time to set up. You do have to hook it up. So you could have an extra 5 to 10 minutes putting the chains on or putting the bars on. And it is what it is, but it's a trade-off, right? Everything has a trade-off. So for the extra time spent, you have some extra comfort. And then the other con in our industry with having off-road trailers is most weight distribution hitches are not designed for actually off-roading and articulating, because they're trying to take any of that movement out. So when you are doing some off-roading and getting a little more extreme, you'll have to take your weight distribution hitch off and put on a regular coupler that connects with your trailer, so that you can have all that articulation back when you're off-roading and going down, gullies and going through streams and riverbeds and all that stuff, because it's just, you have that motion that you want. So those would be the biggest cons that I can see when it comes to weight distribution hitch, and those are the best pros. So, it's not recommended for everybody, but it's dependent on your case. Now, when it comes to a lot of the trailers that we have, some of the trailer manufacturers had that in mind in their design to make it so you could have a weight distribution hitch, and some others don't. And Pause is one that did have this in mind. They thought about it and really wanted to be able to have a weight distribution hitch for those that wanted one. And so we're gonna jump over actually to the factory at Pause with Shane and Maynard, and they go through how they designed the Pause to have a weight distribution hitch.
So what do you got here, Maynard? It looks like you got a big contraption.
All right. Well, we've been getting a lot of questions from customers wanting to know if they could put weight distribution on our units, how they could work that, and if it's designed for that. And yes, it is. Our box here in the front, we actually designed with an angle in the rear, so there's place on the A-frame where you can put the Anderson weight distribution bars onto.
Chain.
It will require you to get an extended chain linkage. So the normal chain link is not the exact long enough, but you can add chains to it, and you can do the Anderson's weight distribution right now.
Yeah, and that's a cool setup. Obviously, if you have the right size truck, if you have a bigger or heavy duty, you might not need that. Or if you get some airbags in the back of your truck,
Right.
that would be fine. But that's a cool setup to be able to add just that distribution to take some of the load off the back of the trailer or the truck.
I mean, I got a 2500 here. I've towed it numerous times already without, and I had no issues. But
Yeah.
just to demonstrate what we can do with it, we put it on so people can see that it is a doable situation.
Wow, that's awesome. It's so cool to be able to go into the manufacturer's factory and see and hear the explanations of how and why they designed things the way they did, which is really awesome that they had the end in mind. It's always important to always have the end in mind when you're doing anything in life. So thank you for watching, and a great thanks out to Pause for their awesome trailers that they're building. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments about the weight distribution hitches or ones that you've used and that you really like. Or if you have any other questions, go ahead and let us know. Thank you for watching, and make it a wonderful day.